اه دكتور.
أهلا يا محمد.
دكتور معلش كنت اسال حضرتك على حاجه. هو اللي احنا بناخده في اللاب، اللي هو اللاب مش الهيدن لاب، اللاب التاني.
اه
هنحتاجه في الكورس ده.
هتحتاجه في البروجكت حتة. ما اعرفش خدته الكيو تي ولا ما خدتوش الكيو تي.
خدناه بس مش قوي يعني. انا اللاب فيه مشكله يعني. الدكتور اللي أنا معاه مش احسن حاجه بصراحه. الموضوع ده عامل مشكله معانا يعني.
هو هو دكتور ولا دكتور؟ عشان في اتنين، في تلاتة، في
لا هو دكتور.
آه.
ف
مش عارف.
يعني الدنيا مش عارف. انا قلت اسال. احنا كده كده
just try your best as much as possible يعني.
Oh, doctor, I'm talking about the lab assignments. عشان ان هو يبقى فيه جريدز عليها، فبتكلم الجريدز دي في starting from اللاب assignments اللي جايه ولا اللي فاتت؟ مش assignment
لا لا
الكورس
لا لا،
نفسها.
فوم اللي جاية يعني، not اللي فاتت يعني.
تمام، thank you so much.
اوكي.
طب دكتور، هو لو انا الجريد بتاع الاساينمنت بتاعي بتاع الكورس نفسه، عايزه اناقشه مع حد او كده، ممكن اعرف مين اللي جريدد؟
هو ده section 3، فsection 3 شهاب. And he is there with us on the WhatsApp group. You can WhatsApp him, you can email him, whatever. Yeah.
اوكي تمام.
طب
ثانك يو دكتور.
دكتور معلش عندي سؤال بس.
تمام.
هو الهيدن لاب دي يا دكتور ما ينفعش تبقى اون كامبس خالص، بحيث ان احنا يعني اللي هي نعرف نفهم اكتر وكده.
I still didn't get the answer from the university. I will remind the department about this, and I'll come back to you. Yeah.
يعني يا ريت يا دكتور عشان فعلا الهيدن
يعني
لاب دي مهمة مهمة
from
وبتفرق
the
معانا جامد قوي يا
assistant
دكتور.
يعني for the assistant يعني they don't mind coming to university, of course. Yeah. The issue is that whether the university is prepared for hosting such activity or not. So I asked, and I still didn't get the answer. We still have 1 week to go, so I'll try my best to get an answer soon, inshallah, Mustafa.
اوكي ثانك يو سو ماتش يا دكتور.
Who else want to say something?
Doctor.
I guess
Okay, you can proceed before I ask my question. Doctor.
yes, Adham.
I wanted to ask, you mentioned something about UML. Were you talking about assignment 2? Do you expect us to make class diagrams of the problems in the assignment?
Yes, but not a full class diagram. I guess you were taking with Dr. Amos, so you know class diagram before, yeah. So I am not asking you to do a full class diagram. I am asking you just to document your classes, but the relationship between between the classes and each other, this we didn't take so far. So I just need you to do the classes in UML, which is basically
The attributes and the functions.
which is basically the attributes and the function, something like this. For you put the name of the class, and then you put the attributes, and then you put the function. Anyways,
Okay. Thank you.
and on Saturday we'll review also the view. So someone tell me, why do you bother to give us of the course 10 days before the final? So this will give you so much freedom time to do the project. So I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Doctor, excuse me, you were cutting off a little bit. For the last 2 minutes after you finished answering my question.
What did I do?
You cut off. An internet connection was bad. I don't know if that's just me or.
I don't know.
No,
all of us.
أنا كمان.
Okay. So
Okay,
can you
okay.
please repeat what you were saying just now?
Okay. Okay. Whenever the internet is bad at my side, just send me on the chat. Okay.
Okay.
So I was saying that I will give you a session on Saturday for two things. First, I will explain the helping code for the assignment, and second, I will explain to you how to use UML design tool, which is Gen UML. So you might ask me why do you require us to come on Saturday? So what I'm doing now will give you so much freedom at the end. So at the end, you will be having some challenging time doing the project. So I want to finish the content as fast as I can. Of course, not by giving you little information, but I mean just to finish things in a proper way. And at the same time, I give you 10 or 12 days before the finals to concentrate on the project. So I was telling you, I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Doctor, when is the first midterm? What is the date?
The first midterm is the 13th, Saturday, 13th of March.
Okay.
And it is expected that I will give you a review sheet before the midterm so that you know how the midterm will look like.
Doctor, so for the assignment, we just have to draw a diagram of the classes?
Yes.
We don't have
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
draw the connections between them and all that?
No. Not the connection, because assignment 3, you will do the connection, Yasin. Because it's not of course you can do the connection or you can expect the connection, but I guess there's so much information that you have to take to do the connection in the right way. So assignment 2 and assignment 3 will be a continuation of assignment 2. For assignment 2, you just do classes. For assignment 3, you will do the connection between, or the relationship between those classes and each other. Yeah. And of course, we will extend on what you have built. So assignment 2 is really important because 2 and 3 the same, and 4 and 5 the same concept, and then we'll have there is a bundle of 2 assignments on the same idea, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll have this. So you build something small, and then you you enhance and increase on it. Yeah. So as if you're having a small baby, and then this baby become bigger. And this is I am not doing this because I am lazy to do different assignments. It's because to teach you that object-oriented is based on enhancement and based on reusability. This is one of the benefits of object-oriented, that you have something that is a little bit small, and then you enhance on the top of it till you have something that's really big. So if you have something small, you don't you don't take it aside and start something new. Rather, you build on it step by step. Yeah. So this is the basic idea. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Doctor,
Yes.
I wanted to ask a question. You're talking about a lecture on Saturday. Is it mandatory or يعني are you gonna explain some things في الcourse or is it like a review session about something?
No. I'm not going to explain anything in the course. I will not explain anything in the course on Saturdays. This is for a fact. Is it mandatory? No, it's optional, but it's recommended. Why? I'll give you extras for the assignment.
دكتور الكونكشن عندك
Yeah, you cut off again. Can you stop?
So I will record it. I will record it. I cut off?
Yes, من شوية you stopped at you will give us extra something for the assignment.
No, just wait. I'll all of you wait. I'll So I am on a new connection now. Is it any better?
Yes, it's more stable now.
Okay. Whenever I have you see something, you hear a lag, so just let me know. Okay. Any extra questions?
We were talking about Saturdays and what you were gonna do on Saturdays.
So I'm going to give you two things. First thing, I am going to give you an orientation about the UML design tool, which is GenMy model. And the second thing, I am going to explain the helping code for assignment 2. Is it mandatory to attend? No, it's not mandatory. At the weekend, I never give you any new material in the weekend. Is it recorded? Yes, it is recorded.
Okay. So on Saturday, you're not explaining anything new. You're just repeating what we already took.
No, I'm not repeating يا أدهم.
I am just يعني في حاجة هنشوفك يوم on Saturday like there's a session.
Yes, there's a.
It's an office hour يعني.
No. I will give a session online. Okay. I will explain the UML design tool.
This Saturday only ولا كل Saturday?
No, this Saturday only.
Okay. أنا فاكر إن هو كل Saturday.
Okay. Drink some coffee يا أدهم.
معلش sorry. آخر حصة في اليوم بقى.
معلش. Okay. Any last questions before we start?
Thank you, no.
Okay. So today we'll continue our discussion on class templates. Previous time we have spoke we spoke about abstract data type, and today we will continue our discussion to class template. So anyone remembers what class template is? Yeah, anyone can speak. Yeah.
I remember that you said it's like a more a general class that can contain if I want to change the type
any
of
data type.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Anyways, I'll explain this again with some examples. So, the idea of class template is based on a concept of generic programming. And what's generic programming? Generic programming means that you have a class. And this class is a normal class. It has attributes and it has methods, it has functions. What's different on this class? It is different that the functions can accept any data type. So this is a concept of the generic programming. The attribute can be of any data type. So what is the advantage of this? The advantage of this is code reusability. So you can use the code again and again and again with different data type. And I will remind you about the example that I was saying in the previous time. If you have, and this I believe was, Yasin was having an example, a valid example about this, and I'll provide another example. If you have a class to do sorting, means that you do sorting for numbers ascending to descending or descending to ascending or in an ascending manner or a descending manner. So you can sort integers and you can sort floats and you can sort doubles. What if you want to sort integers in a traditional way? You will build a class that have functions that accept integers and attributes that are integers. And then you build another class to sort doubles, and you build a third class to sort float numbers. So you have 3 classes, and it is just one functionality, which is sorting. You can do this. Also, you can do another thing. You can build one sorting class and build 3 functions. One for sorting doubles, one for sorting float, one for sorting integers, based on the concept of function overloading. What's function overloading? Function overloading means that you define the same name of the function and it is doing something that is slightly different. So either you do 3 classes or you do 3 functions. This is redundancy. So what is the solution for this? The solution for this is generic programming. So you want to build a general class that its function and its attributes is independent from specific data type. Its functions and its attributes are independent from specific data type. So let's see what is a class template. So I want to have one friend with me. So any friend from the chat? Okay. So I'll pick Muhammad Hashish since he came in the very early for the lecture. So I'll
Yes,
give
yes.
him some advantage. So anyways, so Muhammad, do you see this function?
Yes.
Yes. So this function is aiming for swapping 2 numbers, So is it called by reference or is it called by value?
By reference.
By reference, okay. Did we specify what is the data type of V1 and V2?
No. مفيش حاجة
No.
معينة.
مفيش حاجة معينة. There's something called type of var. And this type of var can be anything. Can be integer, can be float, can be anything. So simply if we want to have a main function, of course, this is not the typical correct C++ code, but I am in the main. And then I want to call this function. So swap values. And then I will say in before this, int S1, I1, int I2. Okay, swap values I1, I2. So Mustafa, swap values will call the function that is called swap values. In this case, what do you expect the data type for V1 and V2? Just guessing.
Integer.
Exactly, integers. So I defined it. I defined I1 and I2 as integers, and then they will be replacing this keyword called type of var.
هو this keyword اللي هي type of var ده حاجة في C++.
No, just wait. Just understand the concept. The details will come يعني so much will come يعني in deeper later. Yeah. So if I have another function, if I have another call for the function, so swap values S1 and S2. And then I have car S1, car S2. So what do you expect V1 and V2?
Same in that type, sure.
No, what's S1? S1, what's the data type? Same as character. Yes. You are right. So this function, we say it's a generic function. Swap values. Why? Because at one point of time at the main, it accepts an integer, and at another time it accepts a character. So in this case, it is a generic function. It is a generic function. And what does it mean by a generic function? It means that it is independent from specific data type. So this is the concept of function abstraction. Function abstraction is making something, making the function abstract from specific data type, So assuming that we don't have generic programming, what do? We will write two functions. One swap values 1 and the other one swap values 2. The first one will accept integers and the second one will accept characters. So by generic programming, that includes classes abstractions and function abstractions, it means that I write a generic class, a generic function that accepts any data type. I don't have to repeat the function for a different data type. I don't have to repeat the attributes for different data type. What's a class? A class is attributes and functions. So the class becomes generic from specific data type. Okay. So thank you, Mustafa. So I have two things: function abstraction, this is what we have described, and data abstraction, making general classes. So general classes means general functions and means general attributes that are not specific of certain data type. Do you understand the general concept? Anyone doesn't understand the general concept? We're telling يعني stories, more or less.
Oh, what's the difference between this and function overloading?
Well, this is better than function overloading. Function overloading means you have two functions.
Mm-hmm.
Function abstraction is having one function that the data type can be different.
Okay.
Okay. And but at some cases you have to do function overloading. When you do function overloading, when
When I want to change the return type, when
yes,
I want to change the data type of the parameters, I will change the number of the parameters.
exactly. When you change the number of the parameters, this is more important than the data types.
Mm-hmm.
To do function overloading, you know, when you change the number of parameters, the function is slightly different. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, Adham? But when you change the data type, it's the same function. It's just a different data type. In this case, you have to do function abstraction.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Okay.
So you drank coffee or not yet?
Oh, I don't drink coffee أوي يعني الصراحة بس بفوق I'm trying.
Okay, don't drink coffee too much, anyways.
Okay.
Okay. Is me. So I'll have Mustafa Mahmoud.
Yes, Doctor.
So Mustafa. Mustafa, can you speak?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but
Okay,
I think you are lagging or something.
maybe for you. Okay,
No, for all of us, doctor. For a certain time. We were like,
so I have to have a stronger internet connection. So is it okay now?
Just now. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So now I will give you the details of function overloading. So if you look at this function, so what's new? Two things is new. Two things are new. The first thing, this the first thing, and it's in purple, in pink, sorry. The first thing in pink that you are writing something on the top of the function, which is basically template. This means that it is a template function.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you write the word class and you write T. Okay, template, you cannot change it. Less than, you cannot change it. Class, you cannot change it. T, it is just it just means a template. However, can you make it Kamal? Yes, you can make it Kamal. Can you make it T2? Yes, you can make it T2. Can you make it Adham? Yes. However, it is known to make it just T. So T is T, and then we will explain how this T will be changing based on the data type. So, and then we'll have swap values, and then this T comes here. Traditionally, when you write a function, you write void swap underscore values, int or whatever. So this T will be instead of the data type, and then that's very normal for the function, and another T here and V2. Okay, this is a little bit different. And then inside the function, this T appeared again. So whenever there is a T, this means that this T can be changed by when you are calling this function from the main or from anywhere else. Okay, so let me explain this. So assuming that we have this function, and then we have this small main, character S1 and S2, int I1 and I2, swap values S1 and S2. I am in the main function. So swap underscore values S1, S2, swap values I1 and I2. So what will happen? So S1 is V1 and S2 is V2. That's very normal. So what is the story of the T? S1 is character and S2 is character. So T will be replaced by a character. So it will be as if we wrote the following: car V1, car V2. So T, as I said, you can name it anything. You can name it type of var, you can name it Adham, you can name it Yusuf. However, جرى العرف to make it T. So T can be anything. So if you know Excel, you know مثلا, for example, if I want to replace any word that is Kamal by Adham. So I find Kamal and I replace Adham. This is the same as T. When I call a function S1 and S2, it's character. So T will be a character. So, and T here will be a character as well. So swap values, character V1, character V2, character temp. This is exactly the same. Temp equal V1, V1 equal V2, V equal temp. I will answer you, Ahmed, but just wait me. Another call for swap values. What's I1? I1 is an integer. So I1 is V1, and the data type for T, in this case, it's integer. I2 is integer, so T also is integer, and this T is integer. So from the main, I called the function twice. The first calling, where S1 and S2 are characters. The second calling, where I1 and I2 are integers. And this is what's called a function template, and this is what's called generic programming. Once again, I know that this T is a little bit confusing. So this T, instead of T, you can call it template. You can call it anything. It will not change the idea. Yes, Kenzie, yes. Okay. So few people raised their hands. So you can.
Oh, I have a question. Is the line بتاع template وبعدين operator class T will function ده جوه class عادي صح؟ يعني
ده جوه class. We'll take it in the next.
مثلا.
Yes. We'll take it in a while. Just wait.
Okay. Can it be outside a class?
Well, it can be outside the class, but in this course, everything is inside the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
دكتور طب what if يعني عندنا البرنترز ما كانوش كلهم انت او كلهم اللي هو كار او كده، يعني كان عندي البرنترز different
ده
values.
سؤال كويس. ده سؤال كويس. What if you have V1 can be anything and V2 can be a character? This is your question, Ahmed. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you will do, Ahmed? You will do simply T V1 and then car V2. So V2 will be always car, and V1 it will have this T, and this T will be changed based on how you call the function. You got it?
Okay, so يعني ما ينفعش ان انا define 2t يعني مثلا plus t و plus t2 مثلا
برضه ينفع. Yes, you can do so. You can do so, Ahmed, and you can have T1 and T2. Yeah, it is a complex case, لكن it can happen طبعا, of course. And this is basically what you're saying is the example down here, where you have T1 and T2. So this can be T1 and this can be 2 and this can be T1 and etc. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
However, Ahmed, it's a little bit a rare case, yeah. Not a rare case, but يعني it's not commonly used, yeah.
Yani, when there's more than one type of data type,
yeah,
we create multiple
T's.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Anyone else has a question?
Doctor, what is the point of
Yeah. Please, Ekami, you can go.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies first.
She was a lady too.
She was a lady too. Okay, then ladies are equal now. Okay.
Since this T is replacing all data types, where's the point of creating 2 T's or multiple T's?
What Ahmed was saying, that there might be a situation where you want to have V1 is different than V2. So it will be T1 and T2. So here you're swapping 2 characters, yes? Forget about swapping.
Okay.
What if you have a function that have two different data types and you want to make them generic? So you will have T1 and T2.
So for example, now, doctor, like V1 and V2 should have the same data type.
Yes, but what if another situation where you have a function that takes 2 different data types and you want to make them generic? So you will define T1 and T2.
Okay, thank you.
However, this is not a common case, so you don't worry about this. Yani usually you will have T. Don't complicate yourself, yeah. At least in this course, yeah. Okay, and the other lady بقى.
Okay. في الإكزامبل اللي حضرتك كاتبه اللي هو T code by reference V1 و core، هو لو هو هيعمل swap، هو مش كده ال V2 يعني say مثلا T دي كانت integer، فكده ال V2 هي core.
No, I was talking about يعني a hypothetical example, not this example. I know that we cannot swap an integer with a character. So assuming that you have a different function called runner's function that accept an integer and a character. You understand me? Assuming that you have a really different function.
Okay, sorry.
So I'm not talking about swap values. Swap values, both parameters have to be the same, yes? But for a different function, What if you want to have V1 as generic and V2 as character? You don't want it as generic data type, yes? So V1 will be TV1 and V2 will be character V2. Yes?
Yes, okay, thanks you, doctor.
Okay. Okay. So we will now see an example, a big example actually, of using classes with templates, and we will combine with it what we have studied for the ADT. So in the previous time we took the abstract data type, and someone tell me what's an abstract data type. Yalla, someone will tell me, not Adham. No, Adham, don't speak now. Someone other than Adham tells me. So Ghada, what's an abstract data type?
It's when you make a function without defining the type of data.
Not really. This is a class template. What's abstract data type? So Fadi, what's abstract data type?
مش متذكر يا دكتور بصراحة.
طيب, you have to study يا Fadi.
Okay? I think abstract data type is when you know the function itself and don't know the implementation. When the implementation is
يعني you're near to it, yes. Kenzie, you're somehow near. So Yasin, what's abstract data type?
So it's a concept that stems from the data abstraction concept. So you're focused on, you have like some data and operation. It's like knowing how to use something, but not knowing how it's implemented, like the start engine button.
Yes. Okay, that's fine, Yasin. So abstract data type. Abstract data type actually is based on the concept of abstraction, as Yasin was saying. And abstract data type is 2 words. Abstract, 3 words, but I mean 2 segments. So abstract and data type. Data type is a class, and abstract. What's abstract in this sense? Abstract in this sense is making functions and attributes as the definition of the function, the header of the function, and defining the attributes. However, you don't define the implementation. And this will be what is the name of this file, ya Yasin?
Sorry, which file, doctor? I'm not sure.
The one with the abstract data type. The header file.
The header file, yes.
Yes, and the one with the function implementation. So it is the implementation file. And what is the driver file, or what is the driver file? What does it contain? Just reminding all of you.
In main CPP?
It will be the main CPP, yes. The int function, yes. Okay. That's fine. So this is ADT. And once again, I want you to study lecture by lecture. Here we will have an example. With the stack. I am not sure if you have taken stack in 106. You should have taken it. and the stack is a user-defined data structure. What does it mean, a user-defined data structure? It means that you are defining as a programmer, as an application developer, this class. What is the built-in data type? It's similar to an array, for example. It's similar to an integer, similar to a character. So it's part of the C++ language. Okay. So what's a stack? Stack is a data structure, a user-defined data structure. I repeat, a user-defined data structure. And the stack works by LIFO. What's LIFO? LIFO is last in, first out. So just reminding you about this, what's last in, first out? It means that whatever comes on the top, you take it. Take it at first, and then take the second, and take the third, etc., etc. So it's similar to, it is similar to this diagram. For this character, actually, when I was a kid, I was buying this character a lot, actually. Anyways, so it was available in Egypt, not anymore. Anyways, this is the first element. This is the second element. It comes on the top. The third element, it comes on the top. And then this is pushing into the stack. This is pushing an element to the stack. And then popping, you pop the top, you pop the top, you pop the top. So what does it mean by popping an element from the stack? It means that the stack at the end of the day is an array, whether it's 1D static array or 1D dynamic array. So popping an element, what does it mean? It means that I get an element from the stack and I put it into a variable. I get an element from the stack and I put it in a variable. So the stack, when I pop from it, it becomes less and less and less. Then the stack will be empty. So the stack has mainly push and pop, and getting the value of the top element of the stack without popping it, knowing the capacity of the stack, asking whether the stack is empty or not. So let's see how the stack works. So this is just the functionality of the stack into a diagrammatic manner. So here, this is an empty stack, and the stack is characterized by having a top pointer. What does the top pointer do? The top pointer points at the last element on the stack. What does the top pointer do? It points at the last element of the stack. What does the top pointer do? It points to the last element of the stack. So top points to nothing. Then I will insert 30 into the stack. So top will point at 30. Then I insert 20, top at 20, insert 25, top at 25, insert 10, top at 10, 40, top at 40. And then if we want to have another stack, so this stack has 4 elements. So the size of the stack is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 12, 10, 5. Then I want to pop from the stack. So I get the element in the top, which is 15. I put it in a variable, and then the stack will be containing 12, 10, and 5. I pop the 12, so the stack will be containing 10 and 5. So then I pop the 10, then I pop the 5, and then the stack is empty. So this is how the stack works. So it's based on LIFO, last in, first out. Okay. So anyone doesn't understand how the stack works? Okay. So let's see an example of implementing the functions of the stack and using the class template as well. So this is basically a header file. And what's a header file? It is basically a file where I have the definition of the functions without the implementation. I am sorry, I shouldn't have those implementation items. I will remove them when I post the lecture. Anyways, I have my functions without the implementation, without the C++ code, the public and the private, and I have our old friends here. I will have our old friends here. So someone tells me what we explained this in the previous lecture. What's this basically? Someone
Class guards.
It is?
Class guards.
Okay, fine.
Class from declaring another يعني variable كذا مرة.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this is called the class guards or the header guards. It doesn't matter. And this stands for if not defined stack h, define stack h. What does it mean? It means if this file will be included from different other files, you have to define the variables and the function once. Once again, if this file will be included from other files, the variables will be defined once. The variables will be, and the functions will be defined once, So this is called a class guards, a header guards, whatsoever. Okay. And then we have a new friend here. We have template class T. So we usually write the class stack. This is the name of the class. And then this is new template class T. So this means that this is a generic class. This is a class template. Again, you can call T anything. You can call it Yusuf, Freddy, whatever. So we will know how this T is changing when we have the main function. So we have our non-public and private, and a friend tell me what's stack TS and what's those functions. So anyone?
Constructor and destructor.
They are the constructor and the destructor. So what is the purpose of the constructor and what is the purpose
Initialize the variables والdestructor بيديليت dynamic variables.
Exactly. Thank you, Freddy, again. So the constructor, and this is called what, ya Freddy? This is called, we have three types of constructors. We have the default constructor, we have the parameterized constructor, and we have the copy constructor. And this is a parameterized constructor. Why it is a parameterized constructor? Because it is taking a parameter which is S. So the constructor initializes the private members of the stack class. The destructor, when we are using dynamic allocation, so it's better to define a destructor in order to free what you have reserved for the variable. So constructor initializes destructor phase. And then we will have our functions for the stack. And if you just notice, our famous T is here. And T will be replaced by a specific data type, when we are doing this from the main. and let's see how this will work. So this is a header file, and then this is an implementation file. What's an implementation file again? The implementation file again, you know those functions, they will be defined here in the implementation file. And then this is a driver file, and this driver file is the int main function, So I am reviewing everything again. So let's see how I am implementing this. So first, this is the implementation file. So I have to include the stack.h again. So I have to include the stack.h again. I have to include the stack.h again. And then what's new here? Before any function, including the constructor, and the destructor, I have to write template class T. Okay, this wasn't written before. Then this is the constructor. So I have stack. This is new. This is the name of the class, and then this is the name of the constructor. What's new here? What's new here is that I put the famous T. So it is a template class. It is a class template. And then stack T and S. So traditionally, we don't have this T, and we don't have this T. And this T, traditionally, if it is not a class template, it is replaced by a specific data type. Okay, I don't care about how the stack is implemented, and you are not required to write the stack implementation function. I don't ask you about this in the exam or anywhere else. I just want you to understand two things. I just want you to understand how the stack is working, and I want to ask you to understand how to use two things: abstract data types and class templates. Those are the key deliverables from this lecture and the previous lecture. So let's continue. So this is a normal constructor, and this is another function in the stack, which is push into the stack, and this is the stack T. And this is Bob from the stack, and this is Bob from the stack. Anyways, as I told you, I don't want you to understand how, I just want you to understand how the functions are implemented, but more importantly, I want you to use the class template into the stack. So the class templates are usually used with user-defined data structure. What's user-defined data structure? It is what you as the programmer or any other programmer in the world has programmed and give you a library for the stack, the queue to use. Later on, we will have a linked list, and the linked list is can be implemented using the abstract data type and the class template. So if you have a user-defined data type, this means that it is preferable to use a class template and abstract data type. Okay, and in your project, inshallah, that will come very soon. So you have to use the concept of class templates and ADT. And of course, assignment 3 will have class templates and ADT as well. Anyways, I want to have a friend with me, so I'll pick one. So I'll pick Adam.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Adam. Okay. So if you see here, this is a main function. And what's this, Adam?
Library.
Yes, I'm including stack.h. Yes. And this library is a user-defined library or a standard library?
I think user-defined library.
Yes, user-defined. What does it mean, user-defined library?
That the user defines it in the, I think, I'm not sure, in the header file.
Exactly. لا صح. Yes. That you define it in the header file. So if you remember, we have stack.h. So I am including stack.h. Okay, let's continue. So I don't want to go into the details of type def and stuff like this. So I will explain for you this piece of code. So continue with me, Adam. So what's this, Adam? So what's FS? Stack is the name of what, Adam? Is the name of
the function.
No. See?
So I'm not sure بصراحة.
See the slide. Just read.
Public stack, so it's the name of the data type or the structure?
No. What's a stack?
Read
from here. Yes.
The class.
Okay. So stack float FS. What's FS?
بصراحة مش عارف بس I guess.
So when you do something like this, yeah, Adam, what does this mean?
Stack is the class.
What's
so
Adam?
An object of the stack.
Yes, the same thing. FS is an object.
Okay.
And what's FS of 5?
The value of FS? Or...
No, not the value of FS, of course. This means calling what when you do Adam of 5?
The fifth cycle.
Now?
The fifth stack, I think.
No, this means that you're calling a constructor. This means that you're calling a constructor. And 5, you're giving a parameterized constructor. Jama'a, please study. Okay? Please study, Adam. Freddy, please study. All of you, please study. Lecture by lecture. Okay? Okay, so let's have another friend with me. So I'll have Yasin. Yasin, you're with me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's a little bit see this piece of code. So, first we defined an object that is called FS, and FS is an object is an object of the class stack, and the capacity of the stack is 5. FS of 5 means I am calling the constructor. I am calling the constructor for the stack class, and this constructor will gives me a stack of 5 locations. So let's have step by step. So So this is float f equal 1.1 and c out. While fs dot push f.
Yes.
So f, what is the data type of f, Yasin?
It's a float.
It's a float. So this is a stack that contains what?
5 locations that can store floats.
That are floats. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. So while fs, this is the name of the object, dot push f.
Yes.
F is a float. So it will call a function that is called push. It will call a function that is called push. Let's go and see what this push contains. So push t item. So I will put how it is called from the main. From the main, push f. What is f? F, what is the data type of f? It is a float. So this t becomes a float. So whenever there's a t here, it will be a float. So this t is float. Why? Because f is a float. I'll repeat again. This is very important. This is a stack of float. Stack float fs5. Float is the data type of the class that is named stack. fs is an object for the class that is named stack. 5 is the size of the stack. So I am saying while fs dot push f, f is what? What is the data type of f? It is float. So I will push the first element on the stack and the data type is float. Then I go into the loop, so f will be equal. First it was 1.1, then f 2.2, 3.3, 4.4, 5.5. So what is the size of the stack, Yasin, based on the constructor?
5.
5. After 5 elements, the stack becomes
Full.
full. So we exit this
loop.
loop. Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Yasin. I'll have another pen. So this is the first definition for the stack that is based on float. That is based on float. I'll have another friend with me, so I'll pick Tamer.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, Tamer. Okay. So I'll have another example. So I'll have this part. So stack int, and then let me call it is and 7. So this is a stack that is based on which data type, Tamer?
Integer.
Integer. And what is the size of this stack?
7.
Is 7. Great. Mumtaz. So let's see. Is, this is the name of the object, yes?
Yes.
Dot push. And then I. We defined I to be, I is of data type?
Integer.
Integer. So I will push what into the stack?
I, which is 1.
I, which is 1. Great. Which is an integer number. Which is an integer number. So when I call this function, push I will go again. I will go again into the push function that exists in the implementation file. So we said we have 3 files: header file, implementation file, and the main file. So I will call the function which is named push, and it will look like this. Push. T in this case will be what data type, ya Tamer?
Integer.
Integer, that's fine. And then item. That's great. And then I will push how many items till the stack will be full. The stack size
7.
was 7. So I will push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the stack will be full. The stack will be full. And then I will pop from the stack. Okay, now I will tell you the bob. So again, stay with me, Tamer. IS, this is the name of the object. Bob I. We will bob from the stack LIFO. So last in, first out. So we will bob what number?
The last number and
the last number. What is the last number? The stack was having 7 elements, 1 by 1. So the last number will be
7.
7. That's fine. So I will bob 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Again, for all of you, thank you, Tamer. This is the stack of floats, and this is the stack of integer. What did I do here? I did 2 things. I defined a class template, and then I used it from the main 2 times. One with a stack of floats, and the other time with the stack of integer. What if I didn't use class template? Then I will make 2 classes, one for float stack and the other one for integer stack. Anyone doesn't understand what I am saying? Let me repeat for now or later. So anyone doesn't understand, have a look at this and ask me if you want. Okay. Anyone doesn't understand?
Doctor,
Yes.
if we don't put like the type definition and like we don't specify if it's a float or integer or whatever, we can put any data type we want.
Where?
I mean, if in the main we didn't specify the float or the integer.
No, you
like,
have. You have to say float int. Yani you have to specify the type of the class. Is it a class of float? Is it class of integer? Is it class of what?
So we can't just put anything.
No, you have to specify. Yani, listen, ya Ikram. This one is a stack of what?
Of float.
And this one is a stack of integer. What if you want to have a stack of character? What do you do? Yalla, مع بعض.
Stack character.
Yes, exactly. What if you have a stack of bool? Then you name it. If you want, as I think someone is the beginning. He wants to define 2 T's. I think Muhammad or
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Ahmed. Sorry, Ahmed. So if you want to have the stack, this is a hypothetical example. So you want to have the stack of 2 different data type. You can do this.
Oh, exactly.
But you can define, in this case, this is also a hypothetical. So you can define it int and float. And then you will have T1 and T2. Okay. But don't think about this complication for now. Yeah. Enough complication. Yeah. I'm just telling you because you asked. Yeah. Okay.
في الاكزامبل اللي فات لما كنا بنقول فانكشن سواب ما كناش بنحط التايب، ما كناش بنحط انت او فلوت او اي حاجه.
لا يعني swap this is يعني also this is يعني a parameter يعني this is not a correct C++ يعني this is just يعني I'm just explaining يعني the correct C++ starts from the example of the stack يا أحمد.
اوكي، يعني احنا لما نيجي حتى نكول سواب دي هنضطر بعد كده نحدد اذا كان انت او
exactly. So you will call it by ازاي يا احمد. So you will call it like what we did, the name of the object. So let's call it my swab, and then the name of the function, so swab. And then when you define it, you have to say the name of the class and the data type, and then you etc. Yeah, like this tag one. Okay.
Okay, Doctor, thank you.
Okay. So I will explain in 2 minutes the queues. The queue is very similar to the stack in terms of implementation. However, the queue as a concept, it's different. It's different. So the queue is FIFO, first in, first out. So when you go to McDonald's, it will serve the first one come. It will first him or her first, and then whoever comes last will be served at the end. So very similar. The queue class is a template class, and then you see all T's here, and you see the T's out there, and then you have, this is the header file, and then this is the implementation file, and this is the main. Please, رجاء خاص, go over those slides. I will send them tomorrow, and see by yourself how did we do a class template for the queue class. In 2-3 minutes, I want to explain something, and I will repeat it at the next lecture. Please bear with me just 2-3 minutes if you don't mind. So I will explain just an introduction to the next lecture. So now in terms of slides, we finish the presentation number 4, and we will start the presentation number 5, which is called inheritance, and polymorphism. Inheritance and polymorphism. Both words sound Chinese, I know, but it is a big chapter already about inheritance and polymorphism. We will start with inheritance, and this is Savage chapter 15, and it is based also on some online resources. I want to remind you that we are still in object-oriented design / object-oriented programming. We are still in this part. We will talk about inheritance. So I'll have a friend, I will tell you a nice story, and we will not be exposed to bad C++ anymore. This is the ending of the weekend. So I will just I will explain you a nice story, and then later on we will check C++. So I want a volunteer with me. So Anna talked, Adham talked. So some volunteers that is not in the chat, please. Okay, the first one. So Ikram, you talked. So someone else. More volunteers, please. Let me enjoy my weekend. So more volunteers. So Abdurrahman.
Yes, doctor.
So, but Abdurrahman, you talk. So I'll pick a new friend. So Ahmad Mustafa. Okay?
Yes, doctor.
You talked. You are the same Ahmad Mustafa. Okay, let's
He didn't answer. He only asked questions, you know.
He only طب حاضر والله تؤمر يا استاذ ادهم. خلاص اوكي ادهم اتوسط ليك يا استاذ احمد. Okay, Ahmed. Okay. So when we're talking about inheritance, so inheritance is one of the good features of C++. Inheritance is one of the good features, of object-oriented. Inheritance is one of the good features of object-oriented. What other features did we have about object orientation? Yeah, Yalla, if you remember the first couple of lectures, we had some good features of object-oriented. What are they? We just had one, and previously we had some. So anyone remembers what are the good features of C++? Just talk.
Yes, we have encapsulation.
Okay, that's great. And what else?
We have abstraction.
Mumtaz. What else?
And we have the things that we took now, which is class templates.
No, this is not a feature. Abstraction is a feature. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But class template is a feature of a language, not a feature of object-oriented in general. What else?
Okay, we have polymorphism.
Yeah, polymorphism, of course, yes, but we didn't take it yet. What did we take before as features of object-oriented?
Encapsulation.
Yeah, he spoke about encapsulation. Yes, also yes. But since you talked, yes, Sana, I'll come back to you. What's encapsulation, Yasin?
It's a concept of object-oriented programming where you have sort of everything into one package, sort of, and the idea is to hide the sensitive data.
Mumtaz. This is the best definition for my weekend, Yasin. So yes, it is based on the concept of encapsulation, and we have said it in Arabic. Encapsulation means دايما افتكروا تحطوا كل حاجة في كبسولة. When لا قدر الله you're taking a medicine, this means that this medicine has so many chemicals inside it, and it will inshallah cure you. خلاص? So encapsulation means put everything necessary for the class to operate in one place, which is the class. So don't put too much and don't put little into the class. So encapsulation means putting the right attributes and the right function into the class. And let's come back. Thank you, Yasin. Let's come back to Ahmed Mustafa. So, what's abstraction, ya Ahmed?
Abstraction is when you have like the whole idea, but without specifying the specific details like the data types and things like that.
No, not yes and no. Okay. By the way, I am not I am not I am not saying philosophy when I am stressing on certain keywords to use. So abstraction means that you are hiding the implementation of the function. You are hiding the implementation of the function. You are hiding them in what's so called a header class, and it is called also an interface class. Okay, that's fine. So coming back to the inheritance story, inheritance is one of the good features of object-oriented. Inheritance is one of the good features of object-oriented. So, inheritance, what's the name of your father, Ahmed?
Mustafa.
Okay, so Mr. Mustafa is the parent of Dr. Ahmed. So what does this mean, Ahmed? Yani just in common language, yani. What does this mean? You are you are a child, not a child, yani, excuse me, I mean this is a C++. Yani you are the son of Mr. Mustafa. What does this mean?
I inherited from him a lot of features.
You inherited from him not a lot of features. You inherited from him what he has. Yes. And what else? You are distinct you are distinct in some features. So you're better than your dad in something, and you inherited from him something, all what he has, and you have your own identity. You can do things that your dad cannot do. This is inheritance. So inheritance in C++ and not in C++, in object orientation, because it's not restricted to C++. Java is an object-oriented language as well, and C# as well. Anyways, inheritance in object-oriented means that you have a parent class. You have a parent class. And this is called a base class, a parent class or a base class, a parent class or a base class. And you have a child class. And the child inherits what the parent has. And he can enhance functions that exist in the parent. And the child class can have functions that are different from the parent. So three things. He can use the functions of the parent. He can enhance the functions of the parent. And number three, he can, I am assuming that the child is a male. Anyways, it can enhance, it can have different functions. So the parent, I can enhance the parent, and I can have different functions. So let's come back to Mr. Ahmed again. So Ahmed, just by common sense, in this diagram, where's the base class or the parent class, and where are the child classes?
The vehicle is the base class, and the bus and the car and the truck are like enhanced version of the vehicle, which we add more functions and structure to it.
Yes. So just wait. So the vehicle have so the bus, car, and truck, they share common things in the vehicle, like what?
The fuel amount, the capacity, and the brakes.
Yes, they share, but is the capacity for the car the same as the capacity of the bus?
No.
No. Is the capacity of the truck the same as the car? No. And then the fuel amount is different definitely from the bus than the car and the truck. The bus as a shape is different than the car, and the truck as a shape is different. However, all of them at the end of the car, at the end, they are the same. So at the end of the day, there's a base class and there are children classes. They share everything with the base, and they have their own identity. At this moment, I finished. Thank you very much for joining. Have a great weekend, and we will see when we can meet on Saturday. Thank you very much for joining, and have a great weekend, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. دكتور هو حضرتك نزلت الليكتشر بتاع ماندي؟
لا يا مريم، أنا هنزل كل حاجة بكرة إن شاء الله. هنزل أصل ده تشاب على بعضه، فهنزله بكرة الصبح إن شاء الله. ده والريكوردنج بتاعه بإذن الله.
يا دكتور بليز، عشان وانا بذاكر بيبقى في حاجات النت فصل ووقعت مني، فبحتاج ان انا ارجع للريكورد.
لا شو هنزلهم بكرة الصبح إن شاء الله يا مريم، إن شاء الله.
اوكي يا دكتور، ثانك يو.
تؤمر.